welcome to another Saddle with Sienna. And today is a very exciting video because we get to do dressage and jumping, and it is our last lesson until the Make a Mind test. So, our nerves are a little bit ramped up, just a tiny bit. At least Chip's were. I don't know about me. I was only a bit concerned because he was a bit concerned, but it was mostly about that pavilion up there. So if you see him spooking, the answer is the pavilion. The pavilion to him is super scary, and he's just getting used to it, and it's newly built, and there's people working over there. So he was a bit tense throughout this dressage test because it was looming on the horizon. But he was such a good boy today, and it was a big confidence boosting lesson for me. Like, I wasn't very confident going into it, the dressage test, because I thought for sure that we were going to leave the arena or something like that. But we managed to stay in the arena, and on this end you'll see he's much calmer, and he does a beautiful canter circle. But on the other ends of the arenas, he might get a bit speedy, or he might shy away from it or not be on the rail. So, yeah. Lots of leg needed that I need to put on him. But I was really working on our schooling figures a lot more than I probably should have been focusing more on his spooking and all, but that's all right. So now he's just, Chip doesn't have a very good walk on him. Like, I'm not being mean or anything, it's just fact. He doesn't have, a very nice free walk. He loves the free walk. I think he looks beautiful, but he never scores very high in the free walk. And he's a bit going too quick for the free walk. In fact, he breaks into a western jog right there, kind of. So, yeah. We need to work on our free walk. He just doesn't have, the walk is just not his best gait. So, yeah. He isn't really a dressage pony, but I love him anyways. And so then I bring him back up to trot. And he is such a good boy, so responsive. He listens to my leg very well. He's just such a good boy. As you can see, we drifted a little bit there. And then we go on our little circle. You may be wondering, why is the dressage arena letters kind of conjungled? Well, it's because it was set up for the bigger arena, and it would take a while to switch it back. So we just decided to remember that S is E, and the R over there is B. So we'll just have to get used to that. And so then he gets into his canter. He's very lovely, actually, on this side of the rein. Then he gets a tiny bit speedy. It doesn't look like it because he's got little legs, but, he gets a bit quick, puts his head up, doesn't go on the rail, stuff like that. It's hard to see in the video, but when you're riding him, you can totally feel it. Like this, right here, this trot. You can kind of tell by my post, but if you just watched him, he wouldn't look like he was going that fast. It's just that he's just got little legs, and he can go as fast as he wants with those little legs, but he isn't able to keep up with the big old thoroughbred sometimes. So, yeah, but he's all hard, and I just love him. But as you can see, very messy center line, and the pavilion, he's just scared of the pavilion. Here again, Chip has decided that the pavilion is the scariest thing on the face of the planet, and is doing everything he can to avoid it. He spooked really big, but we didn't get on tape. He's just not feeling it. He was not feeling the pavilion this day. Spooky stuff I've actually ridden him before. I feel like he was pretty spooky today. He's brave. He's not spooky at all, but today he was the spookiest he's ever been, which is saying a lot. So, yeah. So then we put him over our first practice fence. He's pooping, and I get launched over it. So that wasn't very good, but we stayed in the trot over the fence. So then I bring him back. So now we are about to trot into another practice fence, and he does this one really nicely. I think he just had to get over the jitters the first time, and of course he was using the bathroom, so he didn't have the most amount of momentum. So, but yeah, he does a beautiful one over this, and he gets the correct lead, and it's just wonderful. A little bit fighting him there, and then I almost lose my balance because he doesn't like the people that are working over there. So my trainer told me to stay in canter so I can go canter that fence, since we were trying to get as much course work in as possible. So we try to head towards that fence, and we're heading towards it. We get a good stride, and then we get a bit close because I didn't half fault him at all. We land on the incorrect lead, and not a very good first canter fence. I really lost my balance there. I thought I was going off. I know it doesn't look that bad in the video, but it felt really bad. So, yeah. That's just sometimes when you don't got the best seat, that just happens, you know. So now we're going to do it on the wrong lead. Still on the wrong lead. Oh my goodness, what is happening to us today? So here's an instant replay of what happened when I got a little bit off balance. So he ends up doing a lead change right there and turning at the same time, which makes me absolutely lose my balance. And I grab for his neck, but we have a pretty quick recovery. But poor Chip, I was bouncing around on his back, and that was all me. So now this is our first time carrying the course. We do not get all the way through it. The pavilion again gets the better of us. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. He's very eager, very pulley to get to that fence. He does it pretty nice, even though we got a bit close to it. Then we got to make this tight turn, which we go a little wide on. And we end up getting a bit close. But at least we land on the correct lead. And we just soar with this fence. This just felt amazing. I love this fence. It's so much fun. But again, I get a little bit ahead of him. Just a teensy bit. So I'm trying to bring him back to trot. But he's not listening. So I start giving him stronger half halts. Because strong half halts is what it takes to get him to listen to you. So now I send him towards that little purple fence that we were warming up over. He does that fence really nice. Then he starts pulling towards the butterfly jump. He does that one really nice, but then he speeds up a lot towards that red fence, and it's because the pavilion, he doesn't want to go over it. So refusal, bring him back to a halt, strong half halts to get him to listen to me because he is currently not listening at all. So just need to get his attention back on me. So now we circle back around, bring him back to canter, and we go back for these two fences. And not as pretty of a fence as the first one I thought with this one, but that's all right. And then this fence, again, gets really quick, but at least we got over it. And we're still going kind of fast down that long side, so need to work on that. Lots more control is necessary for Chip, of course, so add that to the things to work on list. Now we head him towards this fence, and he's going way too fast, so I give him a strong half halt and does that fence beautifully, except we don't get the lead change. So there he does a flying lead change, which I was so proud of. He really just started doing flying lead changes automatically, like without me asking him to. And sometimes they catch me a little bit off guard, because he hasn't done this before when I've been riding him, where he does his lead changes automatically over a fence. Sometimes I'll ask for them and he does them, but other times I won't. And beautiful fence on that one. He gets the lead change over it, and he's just a little rock star. Going a bit too quick, though. Need to work on that, obviously. Then fix up his lead a little bit. Well, no, I think I was just getting control, not fixing his lead. Then we do that fence. I get a little bit thrown behind, just a tiny bit. Slightly. I just remember, I couldn't see it from the video. It's just I remember getting a little bit jostled over the fence. Beautiful fence right there. Land on the wrong lead, however. Little bit awkward, but that was just that line. And then we dug out of the tree fence. So, again, we need to go back and do that tree fence. I don't know what he spooked at that time, but we ducked out of it. I could have kept him in line. It was all my fault. More leg would have fixed it, because more leg fixes everything. So we come back into this line, again with that awkward little fence in the middle. And then beautiful jump over that tree. So proud of him for that fence. So now we are going to do the course again. And this is actually going to be the course for the combined test. Perks of having your trainer also be the course designer. So I got to practice it and be prepared for the combined test. And a beautiful first fence. Very, very nice. I love that one. Got to it on a great stride. We had to fix up the lead a little bit because we landed there wrong. And then this fence, we land on the wrong lead. Well, at least for the fence that we were going to. I feel like he naturally would have picked up that lead, though. So I just didn't set him up properly for that fence. And then I point him towards this fence. And we get a little bit looky at it, I guess. He just kind of looks at it a little. So it's kind of an awkward jump. That one he kind of just blows through. So then I got to grab my reins back and get him back. That fence, again, look at him just gallop down the long side. He's like, woohoo, best day of my life. So he was having such a fun time. I just think he enjoys jumping so much, and he just loves it. It's his favorite thing in the world to do. I've been dragged into the arena before by him because there were big jumps in there, I think. And we get a bit close to that fence. He does his lead change, though. I don't know. He just, all of a sudden, he figured it out. He's like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. Or maybe I figured it out, and he just started doing it more often. But literally today, it was just like, woohoo, look at this horse do lead changes. It's amazing. Now we're pointing him towards the Patriotic, and it was a really good jump, but we didn't get the lead change, so I gotta fix that up. I always found it really awkward on this fence, and you're supposed to go around that natural, but I took an inside line, so oh well. This time I got it fixed a lot quicker than the last time, though, and we ended up jumping that one pretty good, so that was great. Then we head towards this line of trees. Will we stay in the line? I really hope so. We go over that one, beautiful fence. I get him back in control, and then awkward fence again, and then beautiful last fence. So proud of him. That was awesome. What a great note to end our lesson on.